Ryan, get under the bed, she whispered. Jungkook, you're worse than those fangirls. Didn't you bring me here to save me? Ryan groaned. This was not the time for games and challenges. He stepped away from her, a smirk on his face when he said, I've won. Before he slid under the bed, Ryan couldn't believe she fell for this person, out of the whole school. He was supposed to be nerd. Nothing like this current him. Ryan, coming, Dad. She opened the door. Ryan's father. Here, I baked a cake this morning. She took it happily. Ryan, thanks, Dad, but I'll be staying in my room. I'm really tired. You go have a nice date. She bid her father bye. Her parents left for the date they planned earlier, and now Ryan was finally alone in her home. Jungkook came out as well. Ryan sighed in relief as she shut the door, holding the cake her dad had baked for her. She turned to find Jungkook leaning casually against the desk, his hands in his pockets and his eyes scanning the room like he owned the place. Ryan, you're surprisingly nosy for someone who's supposed to be quiet and nerdy. Take it. You're surprisingly messy for someone so popular. Thought you'd have a room straight out of a magazine. He smirked, picking up a book from her shelf. She rolled her eyes, setting the cake on her desk and cutting a slice. Ryan, here. Dad's baking is actually the best. Take it. So you're feeding your hostage now? That's new. Despite his teasing, Jungkook took the blade, his fingers brushing hers briefly. She felt a strange warmth linger, where they touched but ignored it, busying herself with her own slice of cake. They sat down, the silence between them oddly comfortable, his expression softened. Take it. Okay, I'll admit. This is good. Fine. Told you, and since you're here, you're helping me finish it. Take it. You're pretty demanding, aren't you? Wine, you have no idea. Sunko glanced at her from the corner of his eye. She looked different here, sitting cross-legged on the floor with crumbs on her lips and a relaxed smile on her face. She wasn't the untouchable biker girl everyone admired. She was just Wine. After finishing the cake, Wine dragged him outside, insisting he take a look at her bike. Wine, I heard you're good with the bikes. Show me. Take it. So this was your plan all along. Invite me over just to put me to work. Wine, come on, nerdy boy. You can study later. Jungkook rolled up his sleeves, crouching beside the bike. He started working on it while explaining every part even better than she knew. He was enjoying it. There was much more to this nerdy guy after all. Wine, you look like you're actually enjoying this. Take it. It's calming. Machines don't lie to you. I like them better than humans. Wine, You won't be so lonely when AI took over. She chuckled a little. He glanced up at her, his lips quirking into a small smile. It's okay. I like ghosts too. I even did some ghost hunting. Why? You're lying. I won't believe that. Jungkook smirked and stood up after finishing his work. Those eyes turned evil as he leaned down to her level. It's okay. I can even see one right behind you. Wine curved but pushed him away, glaring at him. Wine, I'm not an idiot to believe that. Give up, it won't work. Jake, you should have seen your face. He teased with a smile. Fine, he won. However, for the first time, Wine felt like someone truly matched her energy, challenged her without trying to impress her, simply being her slave, doing whatever she said. Jake, anyways, you owe me for the bike. Wine, oh, trust me, you'll get your reward. She grinned mischievously, grabbing the helmet and tossing him the spare one. Wine, let's ride. This time, you drive. Jake, you trust me with your bike? Wine, nope. If you crash it, you're paying for it. The roar of the engine filled the air as Jungkook took the driver's seat. Wine settled behind him. Don't let me fall, okay? She asked him, as an excuse to hold him tighter and closer to herself. What is this about him? That kept pulling her to himself. The sight alone was breathtaking for her. She had been interested in the bike since forever. Just having him on the bike in his uniform, the button up shirt, gloves, and helmet, the heat from his body and the closeness, it all drove his heart crazy. He revved the engine and they took off, the wind whipping past them as they sped down the quiet streets. It was her first time sitting behind someone on the bike. She felt even better, free. She threw her head back and laughed. Fine, you're good at this. Seike, told you, I'm full of surprises. The road felt like hours, the city lights blending into a blur as they went further. Finally, Jungkook stopped the bike at a quiet spot. They could see the whole city lit up underneath. The breeze blew Vine's hair, the moonlight made them glow, and the stars in her eyes couldn't hide how perfect this moment was to her. Vine, okay, you win. You're not Mr. Nerdy anymore. You're pretty cool. It's okay. I'll take that as a compliment. They sat on the grass gazing at the view. The silence was filled with unspoken words, the air between them charged with something new. As they stared at the city, he stared at her. She fell first, but he felt harder. In that moment, under those lights, she was glowing brighter than any sun. Maybe it was not the studies that were keeping him from dating. Maybe it was the company. He just never found the one who interested him enough. His heart told him what he needed. Nothing else mattered after that. She turned to him, her heart racing. Ryan, I've had 100 guys trying to impress me, but none of them are you. Was it luck? Fate? Destiny? He didn't know, but his heart told him she was on the same page as him. Her eyes sang the same melody as him. JK, Ryan, will you go out with me? Her eyes sparkled. It was as if she was not a human anymore. In that moment, she looked like an angel to him who was out of his reach. Yet, when she nodded and moved closer to him, pecked his lips, and took his breath away like that, he believed it was reality. Fine, I will. He smiled, wrapped his arm around her waist, and pulled her closer. He rested his head against hers. The moon didn't look so lonely anymore, nor his heart. He had a person he fell for, and he promised to cherish it forever.